See, this is literally my first drawing after a long time away from art. And this is after I stopped giving a To be honest, I don't know how to start this video. So, let's just start with this. Hi, I am Mari, and how are you all doing? Are you all creating arts? Where's your drawings? Show it to me! So, anyway, this is the part 2 of the video that I previously just uploaded last week, I believe. I really don't remember. So I highly recommend you to check out that video first, but it's okay if you don't want to because I'm going to summarize what I talk about there here in this video so we can understand what's going on here. Okay? All on the same page? Alright. But before we dive into the video, I've got something fun to share. I just launched a new type of OC commission where I not only draw your character, but also feature them right here on this channel. And oh, I will also share their stories and or lores that you provided. So if you got an OC that you're proud of and want to see them in the spotlight, order now. Check the link below. For now, I'll be only opening for 2 slots because I'm just testing the waters and let's see how this goes first, okay? Alright. Oh, and also, I almost forgot. For the first 2 clients, I will be offering 20% discount. 20%, 20%, 20%. Yeah. So, get it while it's still open. Now, back to the video. So I gave advice in the last video. And shocker, I'm actually taking my own advice this time. After a long break from drawing, here's what I did to finally pick up the pen again. So when you're face to face with an empty canvas, the first thing that I suggest for you to do is to relax, okay? You need to relax and take off that pressure that you're building up, especially that you feel guilty for not drawing for a long time. That exactly happened to me. But then you ask, how can you relax and take off this pressure? So the best suggestion that I can give to you is to stop having expectations. At least for me, in that moment when I was starting to draw again, expectation was weighing me down so hard. And the reason why I have this huge expectation is because I was drawing for so long. I was drawing every day, practicing and mastering the fundamentals. And the time that I actually stopped drawing for months, I thought I could easily get back on my feet because I studied this. But that's not the case. It wasn't like that. I was struggling to draw and going as far as I even forgot how the fundamentals works. And because of that, I was so frustrated that my expectation wasn't met. What is that how you say it? My expectation was not achieved. Oh my gosh, my English is so bad. I was so frustrated because my expectations weren't met. There, is that better? I guess so. Maybe. So right now, as you can see on the screen, I was trying to apply the tips that I have just said earlier. Is to relax, to have no expectation. I gotta admit, it was difficult. I live streamed this and I am very thankful that the chat was very nice. They were very supportive. They were like, it's okay. It's okay to draw ugly art. It's fine. It's actually better to practice something to start drawing. Yeah, so overall they were very supportive and I do appreciate that very deeply. But at the back of my mind, there are still whispers of expectations, and especially that I have an audience. Even though they say it's okay, but deep inside, I still feel a bit embarrassed. But God bless those people in the chat. They were very nice. So I understand if relaxing and trying to let go of your expectation will not work right away, because it didn't came to me right away, because after streaming I felt so bad. I felt really bad to the point that, oh my gosh, maybe maybe I'm not an artist anymore. Just joking. I might be a little bit dramatic, but I did feel like I'm a pathetic artist because I couldn't draw anymore. So I do understand when you say, Mari, those two tips that you just say it's not working. I understand because, like I said, I also struggled. So how did I manage to push myself to draw? So here are some factors. I want to mention this first so that I can get it out of the way, because it is quite embarrassing for me to admit that one of the factor is time. What I mean by that is probably my age. Because maybe one day I might not able to draw again due to aging or something. So while I'm still young and still healthy, I should try and enjoy art. So that's the one factor. Another factor is AI art. Because of that, a lot of people doesn't like AI art, including me, and that gave me the motivation or push to actually draw and accept the ugly drawings that I'm making. So that made me feel a bit confident. On another bit, it gave me a boost of confidence. And I was like, at least I'm not using AI art. I'm doing this from scratch. I'm spending my time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears like a freaking warrior. So that's kind of cool. And just imagine, all you need to do is to rely on yourself. You don't have to rely on AI to do that for you. That's a big power move. And the next factor for me is a major one, because this actually motivated me to draw more drawings and accept even the ugliest, nasty, frog looking drawing that looks like a stain on the wall. And for me, this is the part where I realized that drawing ugly drawings are very important. You know why? It's because this is the only way to know that you're improving. The only way or the best way to improve in art is to keep drawing art. And eventually, your art will start looking better and you have something to compare it with. You don't compare your work with others. That's crazy talk. I mean, unless if you're comparing it in a healthy way. But point is, the only way for you to know that you're improving is to draw and accept ugly drawings, because one day you're going to improve, and you're going to look back on your earliest drawing and compare them to what you have right now, and there you can judge and see if you really improve. Also, it's super fun to see the progress that you've gone through from ugly to decent art. I believe that this is one of those AI quote unquote artists that will never understand. They will never feel the joy of seeing your art progress and evolve and improve. They will never have that feeling, and you should feel better about yourself. Ugly art, that's a part of you, and that's a part of me. So right now I am drawing my OC, and I know to some people that this drawing doesn't look bad, but for me it's kinda bad because I have drawn character sheets and a lot of character poses of this character, and before he was looking consistent. Right now he's not. One of the number one things that I hate about my art when my characters start looking very off model, and I don't like that. But as I mentioned before, I will accept this defeat and just move on. However, I will tell, I really love this sketch. This one is really good. I love how fluid it is, and he's a bit on model on that one. So yeah, that is good. I love this drawing. So off to my second speed paint. Actually, I did a bunch more anatomy and gesture study, but if I include them in the video, then the video will be too long, isn't it? So while I was drawing, I really concentrated and really get into the zone. Getting into the zone is actually very important because when you're in your zone, you practically, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, I mean, honestly, that's the part where you start to enjoy the process of your art. And then I think it's the high chances where you will see the improvements when you're actually concentrating, focusing, you're in the zone. Honestly, for me, that's the best part. And I enjoyed it a lot. When I was doing those gestures and anatomy, I find myself doing them a bit more faster. And then after that, I move on to character designing, which is I'm not character designing, character drawings, which again, this is my OC. His name is Amaya, and I wanted to do a very flashy, flowy pose with a like crispy expression. Like look at that, like I don't know, he's mad or something. And I love this character drawing a lot more than my previous one because first of all, he's on model and I love his posing. I love his emotion and you can tell who he is in a single pose and I really really love it. Sorry, I'm a bit sick, but moving on. So this drawing, this is lighthearted. I was just redesigning my avatar again. Yes, I know I already did a video of me redesigning my avatar, but I did mention in that video that I might possibly revamp the recent avatar that I have. So it's I'm still correct at this point, but yeah, I was just doing a concept art of my character mascot so that I can finally make my avatar PNGs because I badly want them. So that's why you see this all unfinished whip of my PNG because it's not ready yet, but it's gonna be finished soon. So hold your horses. So far, at this point, I can draw fast gesture anatomy poses. And that's because I have discovered something really big that helped me overcome my main weakness. So over the years of me drawing arts, characters and character poses in general, even though I have been drawing for a long time, there are some parts that I still struggle to draw poses. Like, why am I always struggling in drawing poses? Even if it's so easy and simple, yet there are times I still draw stiff drawings, even though the pose is a bit flowy. It's just something is lacking, something is missing. And finally, I finally figure out a way how to draw poses easy, like super easy, at least to me. It like when I learned this, it was like my third eye opened. And I kid you not, it actually helped me how to draw perspective. Yeah, Marty, I always avoid perspective. But as you can see in the video, I am now trying perspective because of that technique that I learned that actually helped me. But as of now, I will keep that technique as a secret. I feel like it deserves its own video where I will just solely focus on that thing that I learned. So yeah, that's cool. So like I said, because of that, I started to do more perspective. And before this, I was just completely avoiding perspective. If you look at my previous art, there's no perspective at all. And the reason why I don't do perspective is pretty simple. It's because it's too difficult. I don't want to add too much stress on my head. And I strongly believe that you don't need perspective to have good art, which it is true. You don't need to have like awesome cool perspective just to make a very like deep and meaningful art. But now that I experience creating perspective in my own art, I'm gonna tell it to you. It gives a lot more story and personality and dynamicness, obviously, to your character. I'm like, oh my gosh, perspective is kind of necessary if you want to add more kabang on your art. It is very true. Unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, I'm happy I can do perspective now. Well, I'm not a professional yet. I still have a lot of to learn, but this is a step in the right direction. And finally, I will have a very healthy and happy relationship with perspective because I've been neglecting my babe, honestly. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This illustration, I was so happy. It's just so surreal because like I mentioned in the previous video, I was so depressed I couldn't even draw well. And the moment I actually draw, all of my drawings are so ugly and I was so like so sad about it. But here I am. I'm at this point where I'm happy with my art. Like, look at this. I love it so much to the point that I made it as an illustration because this was supposed to be a sketch. But since I fell in love with the process, with the art, with the character, I made it into an illustration. I even did a watercolor style, which is very rare for me nowadays because watercoloring style in my digital artist is kind of time consuming because I do more extra step than my usual process. But anyway, one of the reason why I'm so happy with this art is because while I was doing a perspective, while I was sketching, I didn't have any complaint. I didn't have a headache. I didn't stress about the drawing because usually when when I do attempt perspective, I have a mental breakdown. I always like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that didn't happen here. I was so happy. I would say that the hardest part in this illustration is that explosion. Yeah, it was my first time doing that, so that's understandable. So I'm happy how that explosion is looking like. I'm really happy. So yeah, I love this illustration and everything about it. I'm happy with the process. I was so happy and relaxed, and I was so proud of myself because I was able to apply all of the advice that I said earlier and in my previous vid, and here it is. This is the result of that, practice and hard work and patience and understanding about yourself. And yeah. See, this is literally my first drawing after a long time away from art. And this is after I stopped giving a I mean, finally understanding the importance of drawing ugly art and accepting and loving them and understanding my condition and as myself. So yeah. So this is the end of the video. Thank you if you made it this far. I am so thankful and grateful. So yeah, I'll see you next time.